Cette semaine, nous nous retrouvons dans le cadre enchanteur de l'hôtel Grand Mauritius à Balaclava pour cette émission de Swingtime Golf Show. Aujourd'hui, 3 invités sur le plateau, nommément Nicole Wilm, qui est Sales and Marketing Manager de l'hôtel Grand Mauritius, Rajesh Mamtora, qui est directeur de Mamtora International, sans oublier Roger Andrews, qui est, lui, golfeur professionnel. Et je n'oublie pas, bien évidemment, Rob Reeve, qui va lui aussi mener les interviews ce soir. Tout le plaisir, en effet, d'être au Grand Mauritius avec notamment Nicole Wilm, qui est Sales and Marketing Director du Grand Mauritius. Nicole, bonsoir. Bonsoir et bienvenue dans ce programme de Swingtime Golf Show. Alors, d'abord, la première question, comment concevez-vous ce rôle de Sales and Marketing Manager et surtout la stratégie adoptée dans ce lieu, cet hôtel de grands standards?
D'accord, donc déjà c'est passionnant d'être directeur des ventes et marketing pour un hôtel, voilà, de la chaîne donc Starwood Luxury Collection. Donc je pense tout d'abord déjà il faut savoir que Starwood, nous avons en tout plus que 70 hôtels dans le monde qui font partie de Luxury Collection. Donc c'est vraiment des hôtels très très uniques et justement mon profil personnel est plus travailler dans les hôtels Luxury Collection parce qu'auparavant j'ai déjà travaillé dans un hôtel Luxury Collection. Par rapport au positionnement de l'hôtel, donc l'hôtel a ouvert donc en juillet 2008. C'est une toute nouvelle construction avec les core values de la marque. Et je pense que très important pour nous, c'était vraiment trouver le bon positionnement pour notre hôtel. De s'implanter dans l'île Maurice. Starwood, nous avons déjà 2 autres hôtels sur l'île, le Four Points, le Méridien, mais chaque hôtel a vraiment son positionnement bien spécifique au sein de Starwood par rapport à sa marque en fait.
En fait, dans votre groupe, il y a quand même une stratégie pour attirer une certaine clientèle.
Bien sûr, bien sûr. Donc, cette stratégie, elle établit la grande stratégie au mois de juillet-septembre pour déjà l'année prochaine. Et forcément, elle est revue tous les mois au niveau des actions. La stratégie, c'est déjà positionner l'hôtel sur le marché. Premier marché, bien entendu, les tours opérateurs, très important, les agences de voyage également. Notre hôtel se prête également pour une clientèle d'incentive. Le marché corporate local également est un cible de notre département commercial avec un sales qui est attitré. Ensuite, tout ce qui est bien sûr aussi la clientèle directe, c'est ce que nous chez Starwood on appelle tout ce qui est en fait le retail, les clients qui réservent via les sites internet en direct. Donc nous avons vraiment plusieurs canaux de distribution pour justement entre guillemets remplir et atterrir les clients dans notre hôtel. Ouais.
Vous le disiez à l'instant, les clients qui réservent sur le site en direct,
oui.
Et ça a une particularité aussi chez vous?
Bien sûr, chez nous, je pense que c'est la tendance générale aussi. Tout d'abord, encore une fois, il faut protéger les tours opérateurs qui quand même sont, je veux dire, les apporteurs primordiaux pour l'île Maurice ici, même dans notre hôtel, on le voit. Mais également, aujourd'hui, le client, qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Il fait des shopping sur Internet, il voit des sites directs et en même temps, nous avons aussi des outils qui nous permettent encore mieux vendre, je dirais, notre établissement. Par exemple, vous allez sur notre site internet, vous pouvez réserver une chambre avec la vue. Et en fait, nous avons une web caméra qui est sur le toit. Vous pouvez réserver cette chambre et vous avez cette vue magnifique sur la baie des Tortues, sur notre piscine. C'est vraiment, vous arrivez ici, vous avez vraiment cette chambre que vous avez réservée via la web caméra en fait. Donc il y a des outils qui nous permettent au niveau online, justement, encore plus démontrer notre hôtel avec la vidéo également de notre hôtel sur notre site internet. Il y a même une vidéo de notre chef Stéphane Bralé sur Season en train de préparer un plat justement typique de l'île Maurice que justement tous nos clients peuvent reproduire à la maison.
Maurice a quand même une place privilégiée dans toute cette stratégie de Starwood.
Bien sûr, très important. Surtout, c'est pour ça aussi Starwood a choisi un Luxury Collection. Et là, on revient vraiment des valeurs qui font que nos hôtels soient exceptionnels, uniques Et vraiment, le client, il vit toujours une expérience. Certes, nous sommes Starwood Hotels and Resorts, mais dans les hôtels Luxury Collection, chaque hôtel a bien son identité. Chaque hôtel est individuel. Donc là, on parle de notre hôtel. On voit par rapport à la construction, la pierre volcanique, le bois boileau, les toits en chaume, les villas, la plage, le côté très naturel, avec des hamacs, des arbres. Les palmiers, moi en tant que plus européenne, on m'a dit que ce n'était pas à Maurice qu'on avait des palmiers auparavant. Donc justement, nous avons laissé ce cadre plus authentique.
Disons que ça porte bien son nom, l'hôtel est 100% mauricien.
Tout à fait.
Et sinon, au niveau du groupe, vous êtes aussi implanté dans d'autres régions, l'océan Indien, l'Afrique.
Tout à fait, tout à fait. Nous avons 2 hôtels donc aux Seychelles, Méridien Fisherman's Cove et Méridien Barbaros. Ensuite, donc l'île Maurice même, nous avons le Four Points by Sheraton à Eben, plus un hôtel vraiment style corporate, le Méridien, Pointe-au-Piment, Luxury Collection de Grand Mauritius, notre établissement dans la baie des Tortues, et un 4e qui va bientôt ouvrir, c'est le Saint-Régis au Morne.
Quand vous parlez des produits de Starwood, de sa particularité, le golf joue aussi un rôle important pour attirer la clientèle.
Bien sûr, nous avons justement, et là on travaille aussi pour une clientèle, nous avons des packages golf également qui sont vendus sur les différents donc, sites internet, notre propre site internet à nous par rapport. Nous avons vraiment des hôtels golf, j'y pense par exemple aussi en Espagne, nous avons vraiment des hôtels vraiment spécifiques pour le golf. Et c'est aussi des expériences qu'un client recherche. Golf, notre hôtel est plus orienté spa, bien-être, avec le spa mandarin, un spa balinais. Avec l'expérience gastronomique, nous avons même une cave à vin dans laquelle vous pouvez dîner. Notre sommelier fait plutôt découvrir des vins du Nouveau Monde. Donc vraiment, c'est le côté culinaire. Et bien sûr, la destination. Notre chef, il propose d'aller à Port-Louis, je veux dire, avec nos clients, d'acheter les légumes, des produits frais, des épices, et ensuite faire un cours de cuisine avec lui dans sa cuisine. Quelque chose qu'on ne trouve pas dans tous les hôtels, justement, luxury. Et là, on retrouve la destination île Maurice.
Justement, pour résumer, on pourrait dire que c'est quand même hospitality establishment, et c'est là le type de produit que les gens devraient peut-être chercher beaucoup plus quand ils cherchent une destination.
Bien sûr, c'est le côté authentique et c'est vraiment le Luxury Collection. Nous, on se fait donner des expériences et surtout des souvenirs qui restent. Voilà, chaque voyage est, je veux dire, est important, mais on ne va jamais se rappeler des 14 jours passés dans un hôtel. C'est des moments justement spécifiques qu'on retrouve dans tous nos hôtels Luxury Collection en fait, qui sont très importants et ce que nous on cible également.
Donc ce côté authentique, c'est un peu votre force.
Bien sûr, surtout avec nos concierges. Donc aussi, il faut savoir que dans Luxury Collection, le concierge joue un rôle majeur, qui est, je veux dire, en anglais, on aime bien dire des hidden gems. C'est vraiment le concierge qui recommande, vraiment à la carte, à un client ce qui peut découvrir le côté plus exceptionnel, authentique à l'île Maurice.
Alors une question peut-être plus personnelle, Nicole Wim, et personne n'y échappe, nos invités, par rapport au golf,
Oui.
Vous êtes vous-même joueuse de golf, vous avez déjà tapé la balle?
Oui, tout à fait. Donc j'ai commencé en 92. Je joue pendant les vacances, dans des endroits paradisiaques. Voilà, ici à Maurice, j'ai déjà joué une fois également. Par manque de temps, malheureusement, je joue pas régulièrement, mais mon handicap est que en fait 34. Mais j'adore et je trouve que c'est un plaisir, c'est relaxant, on a du temps et en même temps. Pour le business, on peut créer vraiment des relationnels aussi et ça peut de temps en temps aider aussi au niveau professionnel, je trouve, pas que privé.
Oui, c'est dire que le golf et le tourisme
Oui.
vont de pair.
Tout à fait, ça va ensemble et on rencontre tellement de personnes de nationalités aussi différentes. Je veux dire, ça aide, c'est un côté, oui, aussi social, je dirais. Et en même temps, je veux dire, on est dans la nature, on découvre les paysages. C'est vraiment un moment où on peut évacuer tout et profiter d'une destination en même temps. Et là, on revient aussi, je pense que le golf est assez unique aussi parce que chaque parcours est différent.
Nicole Wim, encore une fois, merci d'être passé sur ce plateau de Swingtime Golf Show.
Merci à vous, merci.
Et maintenant la suite de l'émission après une page de pub.
Property and real estate, construction, finance, investment, retail and wholesale, human resource and recruitment, sports and leisure, tourism, education and hospitality. Market Info Direct. Our business is helping yours to succeed.
Welcome back to the Swingtime Golf Show, where we talk the business of golf. My guest today is Mr. Rajesh Mamtura, the Director of Mamtura International. Thank you very much for joining us today. Can you please describe to us a little bit what Mamtura International does?
Well, basically it's an investment company, and we came in 2006, and we started off by looking at potential businesses in Mauritius that we could invest, which were struggling, and we can try and prop them up and try and grow them naturally, but at the same time seeing what they need. And
so it's a relatively new company operating in Mauritius then. Do you have any other business dealings internationally?
What we did was, whenever we needed to link up with someone abroad for the purpose of the business in Mauritius, we did. So through that we've made relationships in the UK and in South Africa a little.
So you're able to outsource skills and experience there, specifically for the market here in Mauritius?
Yeah, where it's lacking in Mauritius, we went abroad.
Who do you specifically cater to? Who specifically are your clients here in Mauritius then?
Basically we looked at businesses in the tourism sector, and we also went into the textile a little bit, and then from there we sort of saw who's struggling and who's got the potential to turn around their business, and then we went for that.
Now, I believe that you're also an amateur golfer. When did you start playing golf?
When I came to Mauritius, I found the time to start playing golf, so that's when I did.
What courses do you enjoy the most?
I'd actually say that the best course is the course I've scored the best on, so I'd say probably the Tamarina is a good course, and Anahita also.
Now, amateur golf is very popular in the business sector, especially for networking and socializing as well. In your own professional capacity, have you found the value of networking for your own business?
Yeah, definitely. You always find that you meet directors and CEOs. You always meet them more in clubhouses and on the golf course than you would trying to get an appointment with them. So very often I've met very influential people in the clubhouse and on the golf course.
I believe that you've also played with this one of our Swingtime adopted golfers. The Swingtime Adopted Golfer program is really an initiative to develop the local talent of Mauritius. So you'd be one of the few people to really gauge their talent. What has been your experience of playing golf with them? I
think first of all, the actual idea was excellent. I think before I'd never heard of it, so credit to Swingtime for starting that. And when I played golf with one of the adopted golfers, I could see that the time he spent practicing through the Swingtime resources and getting the opportunity to play on a different course, you could see that from the time I first played with him until probably a couple of months later, he definitely improved his game, and you can see that he was enjoying the game more because he had access to better facilities thanks to the adopted golfer.
What do you think could be done more for the youth of Mauritius in furthering their golfing careers then?
Well, I think if you ask the average young Mauritian if he wanted to play golf, he'd probably say yes. And then if you'd asked him what's stopping him, he'd probably say, well, the cost of getting into the game and getting hold of the clubs and going to the golf course and getting there and the time as well. So I think first of all, from the affordability point of view, if more and more golf courses sort of made it sort of a concession and brought in maybe a promotion now and again so that Mauritians get the flavor of golf, and then if they seriously want to go into it, then they'd have to make that commitment further on. But first of all, just to get them into the game, it would be nice if maybe the golf courses would have like a golf day where they could just come and hit on the driving range for an hour or so without paying, and then after that they would see whether they like the game or not.
What was your initial motivation to start? Had you considered playing golf before you came to Mauritius?
Yeah, I was sort of you could say I was a sofa fan of golf, so I used to watch on TV the great golfers, and then when I came to Mauritius, I saw that I had an opportunity to start learning, so I took that opportunity, and I would say that I'm very glad I did, because nowadays it's actually a great pastime. It's also part of keeping healthy, I suppose, because you walk for 3 hours very often if you don't use the club car. And in general, it's also good for self-esteem, because when you have a good round of golf, makes your day feel better, and Monday morning you walk into the office feeling a little bit better.
Just on a closing note, as Mauritius positions itself as a premier golfing destination, in terms of the amount of business that's coming into the country and the amount of infrastructure that's also been developed, what changes would you like to see, or what perspective would you like to see implemented as Mauritius as a country evolves in golf and in business?
I think Mauritius has to treat, if it wants to be a premier golfing destination, it has to look at itself as a business. And in business you look at your competitors, so it would be good if it looks at countries like South Africa, who have successfully made golf a huge attraction for tourists and for businesses, and maybe take a few lessons from them, maybe just sort of use it as a blueprint. One of the struggles of Mauritius is it's pretty far for a lot of people. So making it more affordable to come here in the first place, and then maybe making up with more activities on the ground. And then I would say that golf courses probably need maybe 1 or 2 more golf courses where they're more affordable. If all the stakeholders get together and work out a really good golf package and then market it heavily, I think that would work in competing with South Africa and the rest of Australia, sort of where you'd normally think of as a golf destination.
Well, thank you very much. It's been very insightful speaking to you. We hope to have you a guest again on the show, and have a good day. Our next guest we'll be speaking to is Mr. Roger Andrews, a professional golfer, right after the next commercial break.
With our finger on the pulse of activity throughout our business sectors, we at Market Info Direct are leaders in dominating the business environment. As specialists, we facilitate all aspects of these sectors with a high standard of professional service. One key, one solution. Market Info Direct. Our business is helping yours to succeed.
I'm very lucky to be speaking to professional golfer, Mr. Roger Andrews. Hi there, Roger, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
It's our absolute pleasure. Explain to us how you got into the sport of golf.
Well, I started golf at the end of the 70s era, and my father was a 3-handicap golfer. So I joined the local golf club and started playing in tournaments, and when I got to the age of 16, I followed my dream and decided to turn professional. I was then a 4-handicap golfer.
Right. And your professional career, what have been the highlights of the tournaments that you've taken part in?
Well, basically, I played in a few tournaments, but at about the age of 21, 22, I actually came from a working class background. So I didn't have actually that much spare money available for sponsorship. So then when I was about 23, 24, I then decided to turn away from the career of probably playing golf to actually teaching golf.
Briefly describe to us your career as a golf teacher or a golf trainer.
About the end of the 80s, I had a dream, and I believe in following your dreams. And I was actually, before then, I was the head professional at Sitwell Park Golf Club near Rotherham, and went to Austria. And there I started at the Bernhard Langer Golf Club in Schladming. I was there for about 3 years, and then decided to go to Germany.
Right. And how long have you been, being a professional training coach for golf?
Professional training coach since 1982, so
yes, it's been quite a while.
It's quite a long time.
With that in mind, what is your personal philosophy when it comes to tutoring golf?
Tutoring golf, try and keep it very, very basic. Let the people enjoy it, and I think the main thing about a golf teacher, you've got to be a good listener.
Right.
Be a good listener and make sure that the people understand what you're trying to bring across to them.
Mauritius seeks to position itself as a premier golfing destination. There's this huge drive to really showcase Mauritius in the light of the great golf courses that we have here on the golf world stage, so to speak. What do you think that should be done in terms of businesses following up and actively taking a role in furthering the development of the sport of golf here in Mauritius?
Okay. Well, before I actually came to Mauritius, I've got to admit I didn't actually know where Mauritius was.
Right.
And I think the thing that we have to do is market it to the European, to the Asian market. But actually, people don't know where Mauritius is. And I've been here 2 years, and I actually think that, or I'd like to bring something back to the local people, which is very important.
At this stage, there exists no public driving range or community or public golf course that is financially accessible to the average Mauritian. What do you think that we should, in terms of getting this getting this ball rolling, so to speak, so that local Mauritians know that there is a place for them to go that they can afford?
Yeah, I think basically you've got to be looking at the built-up areas where there's a large population of people, and actually find the landowners that have the land and say probably give a little bit back to the community itself, and so that we can put some public facilities. You don't need actually that large an area to create a driving range. And I think that the main thing is it's just not about hitting golf balls, it's about practicing and making practice enjoyable. And I'd like to ask any business person or anybody who's got any land to really think about golf, about the future of golf and what it can actually bring to society.
Well, I mean, the Swingtime has got its own Swingtime Adopt a Golfer program, and this initiative is to develop talented local Mauritian youth in fast-tracking and furthering their career to, become professional golfers in the long run. It stands to reason that there should be no reason that Mauritius shouldn't produce a PGA champion of its own, in the light of the fact that there are so fantastic golf courses on the island. What do you think about this initiative?
I think it's very good, but I think we've got to attract the top teachers to the island. We've also, through the professionals, we've got to see that we don't just probably learn through watching other people play golf, through reading books. It's actually through the top coaches, having them here on the island. And I'd like to see probably a little golf convention take place.
What do you think is the future of the sport of golf? I mean, it's become this big juggernaut with marketing and a lot of money being pumped into it. Where is the sport of golf going to in the future as opposed to 20 years ago?
Well, you definitely see it now. It's dropping off in Europe, it's dropping off in America, and very, very big in China. I've heard in China they're building, for example, 600 new courses per year.
Right. That's a considerable amount.
That's a considerable amount. And I'd like to see some new projects in Mauritius taking place for the local community and actually for the tourists, where you're probably paying a green fee around 40 to 50 euros.
For our Swingtime Adopted golfers, do you have some sort of advice that you can give them as a coach, specifically in furthering their career?
Advice, I think, work very, very hard. You can't get away, unfortunately, in this sport without practicing. And, of course, you need good coaches around you, whether it be a golf coach, whether it be a mental coach, and you definitely need to be very, very fit.
Sorry, on that note, the psychological aspect of golf is becoming more and more increasingly important, even as far as amateur golfers seeking out golf coaches to train them as far as their headspace is concerned. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'd actually like to see, let's say, the hotels, the fitness people, the mental people, and the golf coaches getting together and providing teaching in that direction, because I see a lot of people who actually develop bad movements because they don't understand how their body works. Even the golf tourist, the tourist that comes to Mauritius, he gets away from the basics. And if the fitness people had a little bit of an idea how a golf swing works, we could develop the game of golf a lot better.
Thank you again, Roger, for joining us. This was an insightful conversation.
Thank you for inviting me.
We hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for joining us again with another episode of the Swingtime Golf Show, where we talk the business of golf. I'd like to thank our host, the Grand Mauritian, for hosting us again in this wonderful environment. It's one of the hotels in the luxury collection. Don't forget, viewers, to stay tuned to our Adopt a Golfer Golf Show, where you can learn some more on furthering your technique in the sport of golf.